Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Strana. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload a video, you will be the first person to be notified. And to my returning subscribers, thank you so much for all the love and support. To those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, you guys are the real MVP. Thank you so much for all the love and support. So lovely, I came across this video on my For You page on TikTok and I was just so heartbroken, and I just decided to share it out here so that we all can learn from our mistakes. We all can be more careful about the kind of people we mingle ourselves. So this young lady, a 19 years old lady, was actually unalived by this white dude, a 33 years old white dude. And this is not going viral. People are not talking about it. Guys, I'm just going to roll the clip as well as some of the stitches I was able to put together. Please leave me your own thoughts in the comment section and let's dive into it.
A man whom many will refer to as a monster has just been charged with first-degree intentional homicide, mutilating a corpse, and arson. That monster is Voldemort, and the victim, whom is now deceased, 19 years young, Sade Robinson. Now it all starts on April 1st at 4:15 p.m. when Sade sends a text message to a phone that's later determined to be Voldemort's, where the two arrange to meet at Twisted Fisherman restaurant. Now the arrangement happens to be at Voldemort's old place of business, where the two engage in talks, have food, drinks, and are then seen leaving the establishment around 9:06 p.m. Now, as we ping the location of Sade's phone, it was found to be at the residence of Voldemort for about 3 hours, from 9:28 p.m. to 12:48 a.m. Sade's phone then travels from Voldemort's residence to Milwaukee downtown to Pleasant Valley Park, and then arrives at Warnemont Park at around 2:45 a.m. As you can see before you, surveillance cameras then catch a car heading towards the pump house at Warnemont Park. At about 3:02 a.m., the cameras also allude to catching a figure who is assumed to be Voldemort. At about 4:31 a.m., the vehicle is leaving that area, and soon after, Sade's phone loses battery. At 7:29 a.m., surveillance cameras then capture a YT male walking away from a vehicle that is on fire, burning. At 7:32, the fire department then shows up to that vehicle that's burning, that happens to be a Honda Civic that belongs to Sade. Now in the trunk, they find the clothes that Sade was wearing, along with the remaining of her phone. An hour later, Voldemort is caught on surveillance on the bus transit getting off near his home. Listen to this part right here. Someone then finds a human leg appearing to belong to a black woman at Warnemont Park. More than a week later, preliminary test results suggest that the leg belongs to Sade. Check this out. So on April 4th, Voldemort was arrested and his home was searched. Now during the search of his vehicle, they find a hoodie that matches the suspect of the one who torched Sade's car. And can y'all believe on April 6th, they found more human remains. Near Sade's car, they found a foot that appears to match the leg, along with other human flesh that was found in that area. What do you expect from a person with a criminal history that you see before you? With her whole life ahead of her, 19 years young Sade Robinson had graduated high school a semester early, was a month away from earning her associate's degree in criminal justice, and had plans to pursue a career in the Air Force. And the fact that this individual could have more connections to more missing persons within that area or even outside that area. And I say this because in his house, after they searched it, they found blood on the walls and in a bedroom, leading to a basement that was, I'm not even gonna speak on that part. I'm gonna have you just look that up for yourself. Because, yeah. My thoughts and prayers go out to Sade, her family, all those affected, and the potential that may come from this case. Until next time, I ask that you take care of yourselves and your loved ones. And as always, I'm sending peace to you.
I got a quick question for y'all. If a black man murdered and dismembered a young white girl, how many of y'all think y'all would know about it? Because the internet would plaster it everywhere. Now let me ask you this. How many of y'all knew about the 33-year-old white man who murdered and dismembered a 19-year-old black girl like last week or 2 weeks ago? I didn't even find out through social media. I was literally on the news website, and that's the only way that I seen it. Last week or like 2 weeks ago, a 33-year-old white man pretended to be in his 20s to go on a date with a 19-year-old black girl. And I'm gonna be honest, it's giving premeditated. It's giving he planned this date with this girl to kill her. This young 19-year-old girl, I think her name was Sade Robinson, went on a her first date with this 33-year-old man named Maxwell Anderson. Now, they arranged to have their first day at some seafood restaurant, and there are text messages and surveillance footage to prove that they met there and left together. After they left the restaurant, they walked back to Anderson's house together, and the police only found that out by using her phone data and pinging it in the direction near his house. Now, her date with this man was on the night of April 1st. Her parents reported her missing to the police by 9 p.m. on April 2nd when she never returned home or gave them a text or a call to let her know about her whereabouts. And now when her parents spoke to the police, they did let them know that she was supposed to be going on a date with some man that they did not know, and that's what prompted the police to get into her phone data and look at her location and text messages and everything. She was reported missing at 9 p.m. on April 2nd. At 5:30 on April 2nd, a body part was found on the beach that did belong to Sade Robinson. Now, this is kind of where he got caught up, because later that day, the fire department was called because there was a vehicle fire on the corner of some street, and that vehicle belonged to Maxwell Anderson. And it instantly looked suspect to the police because where her phone was pinged was by the location by his house and by the location where the body part was found. And now, that same day, his car is being torched in the middle of the street. Now it's April 4th and the police have issued a search warrant for this man's residence. So this has all happened in the span of 3 days. And when they executed the search warrant, they ended up finding blood that belonged to Sade Robinson all over one of the bedrooms in his house, and all over the basement and the walls where he dismembered her. But since they did not find any other body parts in the residence, that did prompt them to execute other searches around the neighborhood and where the other body part was found. And they did this search for around 2 days until they found her foot. Now, obviously, this man did not get off scot-free when all the evidence is pointing towards him. He was charged with first-degree murder, mutilating a corpse, and arson of property. However, this family still cannot rest. They still cannot grieve because they still have not found the rest of this girl's body parts. He is not cooperating. He is not telling anybody where they are. And so the police are just kind of searching for them. But right now, all we know that they have found is an unnamed body part and a foot. And all I'm saying is stuff like this needs to be plastered on the internet just as much as a black man robbing a corner store. I honestly feel like that's why they want to take down TikTok, because we're bringing information on this platform that's not being shown anywhere else. We're keeping people informed of what's going on in our world, in our country, and people don't like that.
This is why dating is so scary right now for women. This 19-year-old Sade Robinson went on a date with Mr. Anderson to a seafood place. They had drinks, they had good conversation. I guess she assumed everything was going well and decided to go home with him. Sade didn't make it home that day. This man, who I believe they said he was either 32 or 33 years of age, killed this 19-year-old. He dismembered her body, and he spread it throughout the whole city of Milwaukee. Like, he's a fucking sicko. This is why I'm not going to say this woman didn't have common sense, because evidently he was giving her a good vibe. He had to be a very good actor, because he was giving her a good vibe for her to decide to go home with him. Because normally women have good intuition. So he was putting on a great act for her to go home and then lose her life and not be able to go home to her family and see her mother again. This is fucking crazy. She was beautiful. Like, who would think that someone's intention would be to take my life? That was your whole thought throughout our whole fucking date, was you wanted to kill me? That's crazy. The world that we're living in is so scary for women. She was only 19. She didn't even get to live her whole life yet. She had so much more to give the world, and now it's gone. For what though? What was the reason? Not that there's a reason to ever kill somebody, but what was the reason? Why fake this attraction or like just to kill a person? Like, oh my God, dating.
So this video is going to have a content warning for violence against Black women and gore. So if you don't want to see, please scroll away now. A couple weeks ago, a young Black woman, 19-year-old Sade Robinson, was unalived and dismembered by a white man posing as a man in his 20s to go on a date with her. Her remains were found in Cudahy, which is a suburb of Milwaukee. As you all know, I live in Milwaukee. I want to highlight that I had not seen news about this until today on TikTok. And my in-laws have not mentioned it, which means it probably did not really make that much of a blip on local news. They're still searching for pieces of her, by the way. They haven't found all of her yet. It's really sad that when Black women go missing or are found unalived, how little fanfare it gets. As mentioned by the TikToker who I saw today that brought it to my attention, had the roles been reversed, it would have been national, if not international news. Had it been a Black man who had unalived a white girl and dismembered her, it would be everywhere. Please amplify Sade Robinson's name. Keep her family in your thoughts. And let's hope that they find the rest of her. So
the murder of Sade Robinson is highlighting yet again some important truths that everyone just ignores when it comes to Black women. And also, just quick side note, the Midwest producing yet another deranged Caucasian. I'm just saying. And like, I lived an hour away from Milwaukee for like 5 years. Midwest is not right. But anyway, Black women are not safe no matter who we try to date. And this is coming from someone who has dated every different type of person. So yeah, there's this never ending conversation about how Black women, especially dark-skinned Black women, are not dated by Black men anymore. And all of these pop the balloon type of videos are just showing that over and over again. Dark-skinned Black women tend to not get dated. And even when we do date within our own race, we're subjected to domestic violence at rates way higher than anybody else. But that doesn't change once you stop dating within your own race, because Black women are also tortured by men and women of other races. But it gets even more sadistic when it's outside of our own race. I read somewhere that this man had a spicy dungeon in his house. Yeah, other races see how Black women are treated by our own men and think that it's a free-for-all when it comes to being able to abuse us. Did I lie? No. It's like all Black women want to be able to do is be romantically loved, and we can't because we might be chopped up and spread around a whole entire city. This isn't one of those videos that's telling you what race to date and what race not to date. This is a video trying to bring attention to yet another example of how no one protects Black women. How many more examples do y'all need? So the murder of Sade Robinson is highlighting yet again some important
is formally charged with first-degree intentional homicide, mutilation, and arson. A criminal complaint shows on April 1st, Sade Robinson and Anderson went on a date at Twisted Fisherman just west of downtown. Court documents show that Sade's phone was tracked, and it shows her location at Twisted Fisherman and then at Duke's on Water. Court documents also detail her phone was tracked to the area of Anderson's home. After being at Anderson's home for approximately 3 hours and 19 minutes, her phone was then traced to a park in River West for about a half hour. Then court documents show her phone was pinged near Warnemont Park, where the severed leg was found early last week. Within the criminal complaint, authorities say the severed leg did belong to Sade Robinson. In addition to finding the severed leg, authorities say they also found a foot and human flesh, along with Sade's clothes she was wearing, which were inside her burned car. Inside the courtroom this morning, Anderson's attorney tried to get the intentional homicide charge thrown out. He stated that he didn't believe there was enough probable cause for the intentional homicide charge. The judge denied that motion and says there is enough probable cause for the intentional homicide charge. Defense also asked asked for Anderson's bail to be taken down to $500,000.
Sick son of a is gonna pay. This is justice for Sade. Who the would do something like this to my beautiful baby? She hurt nobody.
I'm sorry, I've been out of the loop for a few days, so I'm just not talking about a lot of topics today. This was fucked up. This was tragic, especially for this to happen to a 19-year-old the way it did. So walk into this man's house, never to leave out again. This was fucked up. And there's everything is on this dude. Okay? Now, there are some things I want to speak about, though. One, I clearly blame this on divestors and swirlers. And I'm going to explain why. So you get the women that come on here who are all day about the white man's ice is colder and better. And then these black women run out, jump with the first white man, and shit like this happens. Because you got to convince that it's going to be that much better. You don't properly vet. And you make, unfortunately, careless mistakes. All we hear about is when you're dating a black man, he's got to do all of this stuff. He has to do, he's got to spend $500 on dinner. He's got to do this. He's got to do that. And you're still not going home with him. We have a case here of a black woman on a young girl whose life ended so quickly, so soon. First date with this dude, she goes to his house. Shit. First date, she goes to his house. No vetting, no figuring out, getting to know anybody, any way, shape, or form like you would with a black person, black man. And this shit happens. Again, these swirlers and divestors have this idealized vision of what white men are, and they're 99 miles away from right. 9 times out of 10. Y'all let y'all guard down. Y'all make reckless mistakes in following this pattern. And then we're not even going to talk about these dating app shit. Y'all notice that this isn't on the news like you would hear other stuff because there's money involved. The apps like Tinder, they make a lot of fucking money. So to sit up there and put this out there, the press putting this out there, you're hurting somebody's pockets. You're going into somebody's pockets. You're actually going to the pockets, and they don't want y'all to know about this. That's why it's not being pushed like it is. It's being pushed on social media, but that's it. It stops right there for the most part. You might get some local news channels, nothing nationwide, because this is a big fucking thing. This is a thing that the fucking monster did this to this 19-year-old girl. It's fucking tragic. It is. But ladies, if y'all gonna really sit up here and do this divest thing, at least men are men. It doesn't matter what race they are. Hell, if you ever go to Twitter and you look at some of these posts from white men, what shocked me, if you look at these Eastern Indian men, if y'all see the shit they do, y'all will have a whole different outlook on how you choose your men. How to vet, I won't say how to choose men, how to vet those that you are interested in. So stuff like this doesn't happen. And at the end of the day, he did this, nobody else. But this is something that could have been avoided completely. Common sense. Well, I won't even say common sense. Just using common sense. That's the only word I can come up with. Just using that would have avoided this. And I know nobody wants to hear this right now because some of you will be in your feelings, think about the whole thing. But yeah, at the end of the day, ladies, use common sense.
I saw a few black men talking about this story, and they were saying how black women shouldn't date men who aren't black. Because if we do, things like this happen to us. And my thing is, the lesson that black women should learn about this situation isn't don't date a man who isn't black. Number one, never drink on a first date, because a man who's genuinely interested in getting to know who you are doesn't want you to be inebriated the first time he meets you. And number two, don't go back to a man's house after a first date. You don't know him well enough to do that. You are moving entirely too swiftly, regardless of his color.
Like, seriously, lovelies, the issue here is that this thing is not all over the place. I am not seeing it rampant all over the place. I have to just keep on, trying to look for what I'll bring it up here for us. And I just stumbled across this, and I noticed that it is not all over the place. People are not talking about it, and it's not even being pushed out. Like, it's been surprised that it takes, like, seriously, black women really, really, really need to be very careful. We need to be very careful. We need to be very, very careful, because you know how the society is. You know how, if it's anything that has to do with, black women, is something that is not treated in a special way. It's something that is not treated very seriously. It's something that, okay, all right, let's just, it's something that is not treated in a serious matter. So this dude apparently, decided to go online in search of, I don't know what he's actually searching, because the way it is, or the way they are narrating this story, I think this guy is a psychopath, and it's something that he's been doing all through his life, or it's something that he has been doing, and he just got found out for doing this to this innocent 19-year-old. Like, how could human being be so comfortable, hurting your fellow human being? Like, I cannot even, begin to imagine this kind of human. Like, I know stuff like this is, is something that is, I cannot even express how I'm feeling right now. So this young guy decided that he want to go out on a date with someone. He portrayed himself to be 22 years old. Meanwhile, he's actually 33 years. And he got himself entangled with this 19 years old. Before relationship was created. And they decided to go out on a date. After which, this lady decided to go out on a date with him. He's a pan-colored person. I do not say that pan-colored relationship with, blood relationship and all of that, most of them don't work. Most of what, like, women need to be very careful. Like, you need to be very, very careful. This can actually happen if you are not a kind of person that I'm not justifying what is happening, but this is just an eye-opener to everyone. Not to trust everyone, especially somebody you are going on a first date with, be it a white or a black person. Because I was just trying to see if there is, because some stitches I can put up here. A lot of black dudes were like, oh, isn't black women who often say that they can't go out. No, this is not a period to blame. This is a period to actually think logically. So they decided to go on a date. And they were actually on that date. And before you know it, one thing led to the other. She decided to go visit this psycho in his hand. And that was when everything just changed for this young lady. I cannot even imagine her last, like, the scene. I cannot even start to imagine the scene and what this young lady needs to go through before she was finally done to what she was done to. I cannot begin to imagine what she actually went through. How she was begging, how she was, crying for help, screaming, struggling to survive and all of that. And this man, with the way
he looks. How wish people like this can be actually be identified. I'm just trying to imagine how he was able to chat her up, convinced her to come for a date with him, to the extent of him being able to convince her to visit him on a first date. I don't say that people do not do this. A lot of people do this and get away with it if you're lucky. But I think it's not advisable. It's not advisable to actually visit someone on a first date. If you are not, if not known this person for a long time, you're not comfortable with this person, why are you going to go visit this person on a first date? And actually, this person is not even the person that you know how things are in our society, how we are always trying to save ourselves, how we need to like look out for each other, and you see that this person is not even someone of your own, and the chances are just even, I don't know, it's not safe. It's not safe. I don't know what really happened that she have to go there, because I saw in some stitches that a lady was talking about how he encountered him, and he was trying to drag her into the dungeon or something, and told her how creepy the underground dungeon was in his apartment. And this lady decided, oh no, I don't want to go down there, I just want to go home. Like, how was he able to actually do this? And looking with the stories and how everyone is talking about this, I think this is not even his first time doing this, because I have to go ahead to read people's comments. A lot of people in the comment section was like, they saw part of this in the other side, they saw part of in the other side, which probably is pinning back at him. If he's able to do stuff like this and getting out with it, that is why he's even comfortable to continue doing this. And it's not even something that is trending, so that people will be more careful. People will be more careful. Like, seriously, this actually reminds me of a video of a Pankolo person, especially went over to somewhere in Africa, decided to impregnate a black lady. When she trying to like speak out, he decided that he want to hurt her, until some people come to this girl's rescue. Like, why are they like this? What is it that these women have done to you people? Seriously, this is heartbreaking. No mother should be able to witness this. Your child, whom you carried long time, till 9 months in your womb, raise your child up to 19 years old, then some random person think he have the right to cut this child's life short. No mother should pass through this. I just can't even imagine what her mom is actually passing through right now. Like, ladies and gentlemen, we really need to be careful. Outside there is so dangerous. It's so dangerous outside there. There are a lot of people roaming around on this earth. It's not everyone that you see actually have good intention towards you. A lot of them are filled with too many bad intention. And to what extent? Like, what is his gain that warrant him to do this to his fellow human being? What is his gain? What is he trying to achieve? What was the reason for discarding all the parts? What was his reason for doing such a thing? What joy does he, derive from doing this? A lot of people want to like, okay, he's a psychopath. No. This dude know exactly what he's doing. And this dude has been doing stuff like this. And he's getting away with it. And now karma is at him. He actually toyed with the wrong person. I like seriously. This is heartbreaking. This is seriously heartbreaking, and black women most especially need to be very careful. The rate at which people disappears, people got missing is just alarming. You need to be very careful. A lot of people out there do not have a heart. You think that they are human, but they are human with a devilish heart. They are human with no sympathy, with no, with self-hatred, with problems all over them. They are looking for who to use as an experiment. A lot of them will be filled with rage and anger and trying to look for who to destroy. Like, seriously, who could thought that someone like that could actually hurt? And this should be like, a lot of people need to be very aware of the kind of people you mingle yourself with. And this also brings back to online dating. There are so many of them there that are some of them are with good intention, but most of them are with bad intention. This guy must probably be some kind of this psychopath that actually fantasize a lot of bullshit and want to maybe practice it, and when you decide to decline, they want to hurt you. This is his kind of people. This kind of person. He's probably trying to practice what he wants, his fantasies and all of that, and at the end of the day, he's hurting someone. Like, seriously, lovelies, really, really need to be very careful, especially as a black woman. They just imagine that this was something that is done, like a table has just turned or flipped. Do you think even the locust of the locust won't broadcast this? But no, they see it as something that, okay, all right, okay, and pays a huge amount of money, probably go to the prison after some time. We don't know if he's out or not. Seriously, this is why we really, really need to be very careful. We need to be very, very vigilant of the kind of people we mingle ourselves with. Even if you want to go in through this online dating thing, you should be very careful. I want to blame most women that just want to just be on their own, because the world is not safe for women. It's not safe for women. Women need to, they need to be very safe for themselves. They need to, watch and look after themselves, because the world is not even ready to do that for you as a woman, especially as a black woman, most especially. So we have to be very careful. We have to watch out for each other. Our brothers need to be there to protect us. Seriously, especially from this kind of people. My heart goes, to the mom. She was just 19 and you are 33. What are you doing with such a young girl? You're looking for somebody that is naive, someone that that is defenseless, that can't even stand up on her own. Probably he's been doing this. What kind of human do we have that exists on this earth? Why is it that people don't have a heart anymore? Why? Anyway, lovelies, why not just leave me your own, thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And do not forget that this channel, we do not support any form of, harassment, bullying, name calling, and cursing, and all of that. We do not, support it here. We're just here to pass informations, to give out to those, to give out information that is not boosted out to give out in public, so as people can be very, very aware. People can be very, very careful. And we're also here to learn more of our histories as, collective bodies and all of that. We're also here for a little bit of entertainment. So we don't, tolerate any form of abusiveness here. We're just here to learn. We're just here to watch out for each other. So, beautiful people, lovelies, cute people, why not just share this video, subscribe to this channel if you're yet to do that, and I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one. Why not just leave me your own sense in the comment section of what you think of this video, and do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying, harassment, or worse. We're just here for educational, informative purposes, guys. Please share this video, subscribe if you're yet to do that, and I will see you lovelies when I upload my next one.